Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, and today I have for you a 1 vs 1 on Langres. Yes, indeed, on Langres, which has been some time. We actually since had a match on that. But again, I'm not getting a lot of matches, replays as of late, and most of them, again, are sort of the novice Monday fight sort of thing. I'm getting 2 vs 2s, which are rather one-sided. Again, I mean, it's not exactly the most ideal of situations. Again, I was sort of trying my best to sort of get replays, but they just sort of seem to be slowly trickling in. So, been pulling into the archives, trying to dig out what I can, and hopefully you will find this one interesting. It shall be a 1 vs 1, of course, on Langres. It shall be featuring Pepsitrustreloaded. Yes, indeed, one of those reloaded chaps. In this case, Pepsitrust, who's, besides apparently being fond of Pepsi, he's also a reasonably high-ranked player, I believe. Fighting for the Wehrmacht. Fighting for the... I don't know. Let's just casually say the 91st Luftlande Division. Opposing him shall be... Damn evil vicious mouse. Yes, indeed. The vicious. The evil. The mouse. Evil vicious mouse. Who's damned to walk the earth forever. Fighting for the Americans. Fighting for the 1st Infantry Division. In fact, let's get right down to this. Let's see what these 2 chaps shall be up to. Wehrmacht quarters, barracks, hooray, huzzah, and all that. On him, he does. Yes, always nice, I suppose. A bit quiet at the moment in the start, as usual. Nothing really otherwise to mention, I suppose. Perhaps a bit too quiet, of course. There's no real greater news either. Nothing on Company of Heroes 2 or an expansion or a patch. Sadly, either of those 3 would be nice, but you know, Relic is keeping their cards close to themselves and not really saying a bloody thing for the moment. Engineers spraying out here on either side. This is good. And apparently, Pepsitrust has gotten a change of plans, decides not to hold this point. Instead, he moves on to the next bit, perhaps hoping for some infantry units or some wires to actually connect with this point. Certainly not a bad idea. Certainly want some players to do, and in fact, of course, also no, he's actually ignoring this strategic point. That's more peculiar. Why isn't he fully connecting there? Because otherwise, he won't really be getting anything out of this side of the map. That's pretty damn weird. Instead, now he's sending Volksgunners out quickly towards the front. Might in fact quickly right from there from damn evil vicious mouse. Volksgunners continuing their march towards the east. Opening up on the engineers instead, right from them, proceeding straight from the distance point, which of course has not been connected. Riflemen charging in from the west. These Volksgunners are what you might call in trouble. And there we go, retreating, gunning down one engineer, and then making a run for the highlands, or well, the Wehrmacht lands, I suppose. We are seeing another Volksgunner team on the way to assist the first one. Will sort of cover the retreat, I suppose. Damn evil vicious mouse pushing onwards for Uncle Sam against the Krauts. Volksgunners marching in towards the center. Nice movements. I always like those little animations, you know, nice details, sort of make things a bit more lively. Too bad they couldn't get around to doing something with the skins, of course. Again, that's what you've got skin packs for. And I might be aware that something might have changed my mind. I pretty much believe I put it up on Mega Upload, and which has now actually been taken down by the US government. Absolutely amazing, so I have to find somewhere else, which isn't going to be figured out as illegal. Volksgunners marching in, floating a bit of resources here. He might be going for a sniper. And yes, indeed, Pepsitrustreloaded likes this 2 Volksgunner sniper start. I think it's one of the rarer starts, but it's certainly not completely illogical. I mean, snipers can be useful, and of course, he's keeping his Volksgunners together. Very important. Volksgunners on their own, of course, much easier targets, and not quite able to hold on their own. But of course, Volksgunners sort of need something to work together with. They're more of a synergetic infantry. They're sort of mass infantry. Taking up position behind the walls again. Americans sort of pushing around, doing a bit of harassment. And they're going straight for the strategic point. Of course, there's nothing there. Oh dear, Pepsitrust is in a much divided situation, and again, Americans really pushing where their strength, of course, which is mobility, aggression. You know, able to take points here, there. with quite the speed, and of course much easier able to spread up the infantry, because the Volksguns again sort of need to work together on larger formations. Of course the American riflemen don't quite as much. So there we go, cutting off the fuels right there. Not good at all. Sniper on the way though, MG42 also. Sniper firing off a bit, getting a few Americans in the head. Others trying to move in. Oh, a grenade right there. Damn, Evil Vicious Mouse certainly showing he's vicious, going straight for the grenades. The Mark II pineapple grenade. Certainly quite fond of that. That doesn't stop Pepsitrustreloaded. Opening up with the sniper again. The grenade can be a very vicious thing, in particular if you can get it sort of reasonably early. Not really a lot, something a lot of people expect. And again, it's something that's really happened after a small change to the grenade with the latest patch, which meant it's actually a lot more accurate. Previously it wasn't quite as accurate, but now it is. Of course, that means it's also a lot more vicious and deadly. It's sort of like a very cheap bundle grenade, although slightly less explosive, but still quite powerful. Should not be underestimated one bit. No skirmish phase, might be all those troops. He actually hasn't been able to spend so much on reinforcements. He was able to keep his Volksguns on the field for quite some time until that one grenade happened. Damn, Evil Vicious Mouse though has been a bit running back and forth, and now he's getting a weapon support center of his own, probably to get a sniper of his own to deal with Pepsitrust sniper. And MG42 setting up not the best position out in the open though, against a building. Of course, there's a sniper nearby. Only oh, that was a bad move right there, sending in a few riflemen into a building. And a bit of fighting here in the west, trying to go for the fuel pot, but flamethrowers put a stop to that. Of course, actual fuel should not be throwing around with flamethrowers nearby, and that would end up ugly. Skirmish phase on the way. Kriegbergs might soon be there. Weapon support centers up. More flamethrowers. No. Mislooked right there, my apologies.
You're losing a sector.
Going straight there, cutting off Damn Evil Vicious Mouse from his fuel right there. Of course, there's still the fuel point there.
We have captured a fuel supply.
And munitions right there secured. Sniper opening up, firing away, of course. Probably going to be unaware, so there's soon going to be an American sniper on the field. The German sniper equipped with the Gewehr 43, actually, for some reason, not the Kar98K, but then again, might be they felt that giving him the Kar98K would be a bit over the top, and might also make him a bit too much like the American. Of course, one thing to note about the German sniper, once he gains veterancy 3, he actually begins firing a bit faster. Probably due to the actually having a semi-automatic. And engineers sneaking in from the west. MG42 actually covering that point. Good move there by Pepsitrust. But now the Americans are charging right through the center. Of course, there's no MG to cover that. Mines being attempted there, but that's a bit too late. MG going to have to turn about. Sniper not... Wait, never mind. He's actually firing. American sniper, though, moving in as well. MG pulling back. Flamethrower engineers dying. Full large retreat there by Pepsitrust. Kriegbergs is up. Getting the grenadiers. Feeling a bit successful in that endeavor, perhaps. Having done some damage to, of course, Mr. Devm, or Damn Evil Vicious Mouse, and of course also why is Fraps acting up like that, but also of course note these sort of grenades, which of course means he might not, be going so swiftly for the M8, which of course would allow him to get more infantry on the field as well. So of course he opts for grenadiers, sneaking in some false grenades from the west, hoping to flank around the positions of Damn Evil Vicious Mouse. There we go. And certainly forcing a bit, of course. Great mining right there by Damn Evil Vicious Mouse, going to make things a bit harder to advance. False guys moving in on the eastern flank. MG taking up position in the center, but it's not quite pushing it. But grenadiers and snipers are now getting in there to push there. American sniper moving about. All quiet, all sneaky like. Except he's not an orc or a goblin. I'm thinking Warhammer orc. And there we go. Oh, very close to the German sniper was very close to revealing, and Damn Evil Vicious Mouse is not revealing his own sniper. He's really cutting him for the counter-sniping duty. And of course, the first rule of counter-sniping is don't bloody well blow your cover before it's too late. It's sort of like that Monty Python sketch, I suppose, Don't tell the opponent you're actually there. Panzer's equipped for the grenadiers. He's... Alright, let's try again with that Flaps acting completely silly. Looks successful. Grenadiers, though, accidentally pressed the start button again. Happens sometimes when you try to just alt-tab and find out what's going on, but usually it's just Fraps. Just in case, Rifleman goes up, hit by a Panzerschreck. Another goes down as he retreats. The sniper still pulls out. Probably feeling a bit annoyed. He just can't get that Kraut sniper. And the German sniper, of course, is completely unaware that there's an American sniper moving about. MG42 sending up. Americans being sent in to flush out, perhaps. Oh dear. No, he's going for the grenade out. The MG42 bunker going up for Pepsitrust. Medic bunker, in fact. Riflemen continue the hunt for the crowd. With the Gewehr 43 scoped. Interestingly enough, looks like some Volksgunners got burned off. Interesting to note, it's actually the only Gewehr 43 for the actual Wehrmacht. Panzer, of course, can't get more, but interesting enough, the Gewehr 43 was actually a part of regular infantry units as well, you know, not just the Panzer and such. It was basically there for the second in command of a squad, to basically increase the firepower of the unit. Could have been fun to see. Perhaps still a bit unstable, but at least it's not throwing a complete hissy fit as of yet. Still yet to figure out what it is, but I suspect, of course, it's something they are aware of, because I'm constantly seeing, you know, patches saying, oh, well, we are sort of trying to fix it, acting up at higher resolutions. They never seem to quite get it, those fraps, guys. Should they be called frappers? I'm not sure. Medic bunker nonetheless up, medics ready, or sanitator, ready to pull in the wounded grenadiers and Volksgunners. Sniping going on. Very lucky German sniper so far. And certainly that American sniper's been... Oh, wait. He's actually revealed himself. Oh, dear. But now he's moving in to flush him out. Engineers, flamethrowers and all that. And a minesweeper, probably expecting something like that. That's a good move. American sniper opening up. Bike moving in. Sneaking in. Oh, dear. Grenade on the Volksgunners. Oh, dear. Doing heavy damage. Sneaking in from the east, but a MG42 stops that. Grenadiers opens up on the rifleman, clearing out a rifleman team for damn evil vicious mouse. That was actually quite unfortunate. Bike moving in against the American sniper. Awfully close to a mine, though. More losses for the Americans, simply getting forced back. German medics pulling in the wounded. No PAP 38, though. Nothing similar there from damn evil vicious mouse. No armored cars, of course. Is oh dear, he actually suffered quite a bit. He might have actually lost 2 rifleman teams. That's quite a blow, but certainly nice job there by Pepsitrustreloaded, showing some trust in Pepsi, not Coca-Cola. Though personally I prefer Coca-Cola, but that's, you know, personal taste and all. Moving through there, going for the victory strategic point. And, oh, hitting a mine. Sniper moving in. Oh, he reveals him right there, but thankfully the German sniper was far away. Sniper König was nicht there. And the MG moves in. Bike moves in. Oh dear, sniper gets away, but this is looking pretty bad. Grenadiers are forced away. Bike also needs to get away before it catches on fire and blows into tiny bits. Clearing out the mines. Good move there with the minesweepers. Grenadier sniper. An MG covering there with the help from the medic pack. Full splinter camo for these chaps. Nothing going on here. Oh wait, he might be going for the Sturmarmy, or perhaps the Panzer Command sort of idea. In the meanwhile, a mortar on the way for damn evil vicious mouse. A mortar, that's certainly one of the rare things you see from the Americans, but it doesn't mean it's actually a bad thing. A well-used mortar can be quite a threat to your opponent.
Germans are seizing territory.
And quite dangerous. They actually do more damage to infantry than a German mortar will. In particular when they gain veterancy. It's a little known fact. Bike moving in. Oh dear, sniper once more gets away. Not quite much luck there in that time. That's not really the super sniper of the American army. Volksgunners on the flank, getting rushed by American riflemen. Oh, Volksgunners with MP40 in the center. Fraps trying to hold the rate of frames. Volksgunners pulling away, losing one man. Grenadiers are not there to support. Sniper opens up on the eastern riflemen. Grenade on the Volksgunners. Oh dear. That could be a Volksgunner team down. Does it happen? Or will the Volksgunners... Yes, he does just barely make it out of there. Riflemen moving into this. No, it's engineers. Stopped by other grenadiers. Medics seemingly still pulling in the wounded. Some luck, and now begins the rain of the mortar. Begins blasting away at German positions, or at least suspected German positions. No smoke. That, of course, could be a nice move to sort of charge up through the center, right through the MG fire. But it's not something you see often used. BAR's now up. Could be seeing more riflemen on the way. No medic station either. No supply yard operates either, though he looks like to be setting up for a strafing run, which could prove to be quite fatal for the Wehrmacht. If he catches him in the right spot. Now Kampfkraft Center, Pepsitrust holding on to the second phase apparently. We could of course just be hoping to sort of go for a combination of the two. Mortar rounds on the Grenadiers doing quite a bit of damage there too. Right away dead. Others quite wounded.
Time to kill some crowds.
And they are very much dead. We are seeing a strafing run in, probably to reveal the German sniper with and get a counter shot in with his own sniper. Of course, that's something that certainly can be useful with the air reconnaissance. Certainly, a lot of airborne commanders do. If they have a sniper and their opponent has a sniper, you know, send a reconnaissance run, sniper up, and then there we go. Opens up the MG42 instead, though. German sniper doesn't quite get him either. Action here in the east. MG42 sending up to cover that. Sniper accidentally reveals himself. He's got quite a bit of peppering there. Bit quiet though, and there we go. The Panzer Commander is up. The 91st Luftlande Division getting a bit of support from elsewhere. The 91st being a sort of air landing division, but rather changing into a regular infantry division. And a strafing run. Wounding and killing quite a few false grenadiers, but doesn't quite get the sniper. Almost close to getting a full grenadier team, unless of course someone decides to do that dishonorable deed of killing the medics. Heroically moving in the wounded. Oh dear, one sniped. Grenadiers moving in to... Oh dear, the other sniper got killed as well. No, the medic, I mean. And the other sniper nearby doesn't quite help. Grenades getting locked at the rifleman. Grenadiers could go down on the retreat. Oh dear, they just... Oh, they didn't make it. Too bad. Of course, no mortar rounds sending in on the medic bunker, I wager. Quite great push here by damn evil vicious mouse. MP40 equipped false guys moving in. Will they make it? Will they make it? Bike's still there actually with one kill. MG42 covering the eastern flank. Perhaps should consider covering the center instead. More sniper fire. Bike not quite actually getting to that sniper in fact. Lots of BARs putting a stop to that. What remains of the Wehrmacht forces hiding in the base otherwise. False gunners need to get away, taking heavy losses. Oh dear. Quite the blow to Pepsitrustreloaded and his forces. Medic bunker almost down. Can't quite resist or withstand the constant mortar fire, the concrete flying off in bits and chips, and certainly that's one of the better ways of simply dealing with a bunker, and that's mortaring it. Otherwise, wait, looks like some got killed there. Otherwise, of course, another solution is laying down a smoke cover, then moving in with flamethrowers or perhaps demolition charges. I mean, there's plenty of options for knocking out a bunker. Of course, that is something that perhaps the more novice American players are perhaps not quite aware of. They just sort of see, oh my goodness, my rifles can't hurt that concrete. Madness, whatever shall I do? And then that's sort of it. But now we are seeing the Panzer Command up. What shall he be getting? What shall he be going for that could turn the tide for the Wehrmacht? Actually, I believe it's time for the mid-game analysis. Interesting. Of course, watch the situation. Not really good for the Wehrmacht, not good for the 91st. A bit pushed back. Quite some losses right there. Lost several infantry teams. And a bunker. Although he's going for another bunker now, that of course could help. And looks like he's just getting the Ostwind Flakpanzer. Roar. And the situation, of course, is a bit better for damn evil vicious mouse now with the rifleman replacements and mortar now getting a motor pool himself. In fact, although it looks like the center is pretty open, but sadly, Pepsitrustreloaded, of course, isn't aware of this and, of course, isn't pushing forward. He's not doing reconnaissance, which could actually help him slowly turn things around. A bit tragic. But there you go. Of course, he might have considered getting actual Panzer IV if he actually has the fuel for it. Knight's Cross could help. But more infantry in general, I think, should be his main priority at the moment. Perhaps get a Panzer IV, of course, and then basically try also to sort of move through here through the flanks. You know, force damn evil vicious mouse to sort of move through here, away from here, to sort of having one strong point here, to sort of having to spread them out, thus making it a bit easier to break through in one spot. And he also should consider getting a mortar to perhaps get that mortar or some other sort of counter artillery. As for damn evil vicious mouse, of course, he probably needs to just push on. M8 and M8 is of course not a bad move. He seemingly also already has an anti-tank gun, but of course getting more of that, perhaps getting some airborne, perhaps more mortars or a heavy machine gun could certainly be of help. And I would also recommend mines and perhaps a medic station. But let us return to the fight. Let us see what happens. Bunker up. Ostwind Flakpanzer, based on the Panzer IV chassis. well, the majority of the German flak panzers were actually based on. There was also the Wirbelwind with the flak feeling sort of thing, and then there's also the Möbelwagen, which could be either with this sort of gun here or the flak feeling actually. There was also the Gepard, which was based on the Panzer 38T, same as the Hetz and Marder, equipped with a single barrel sort of thing like of the flak feeling, and well, there was also the Flak Panzer 1. Well, that was a much earlier variant. Moving in towards these here with the M8s. MG42 not quite ready to stop that. Ostwind being forced away by the anti-tank gun, though veterans 1Fs for it. Volkswagen is getting mortared, needs to get away. Pioneers with minesweepers also move away, and looks like the Ostwind is moving in. Opening up on the M8. Blasting away at the tiny Greyhound. Panzer also joining in for a bit of fun. Don't think the Greyhound will be making it out of that one alive. Sniper moving about awfully close. M8 down, kaput. And then moving on to the Riflemen. And quickly reorganizing and removing in. No veterans in there. Nothing else looks like to be going on from there actually. Quite a few kills for the German sniper. Medics pulling in the wounded. And then he finally gets counter-sniped. Ostwind moves right into the mess. That could actually be very bad if he has the sticky bombs. Oh dear, Grenadiers, will they make it out of there alive? Will they? Oh, looks like they just barely make it. Ostwind also just seems to be making it out of there barely, having taken quite a bit of damage from the anti-tank guns. Back moving around, dodging mortar rounds. Still no attempt to sort of move through here in the west. Looks like a grenadier team was finally reformed. And looks like the bike might not make it any longer. Anti-tank gun turns in. Just barely misses. MG42 opening up on the American forces. Damn, Ulysses Mouse troops are getting suppressed. Grenadiers and Volkswagen is moving in. Take advantage of this spike. Also having a bit of fun. Ostwind getting repaired quickly. Grenadiers and Dine need a reinforcement. Pin, and looks like a firestorm moves in. Oh dearie me. Knocking out the anti-tank gun, heavily damaging the mortar team. Not quite killing him. Will the bike move in? Oh, a missed opportunity right there by Pepsitrustreloaded. He could perhaps have knocked out that mortar team. Would have been a great victory, but at least he's pushing onwards. He's taking as much as possible. Grenadiers, MG42s moving in. Still nothing going on in his base though. Another anti-tank gun to replace the one lost, and immediately knocking out the bike as his first deed of the day. Bit unfortunate that. Pioneers move forward. Volkswagen is getting sniped, shot at, and other terrible manner of things. In fact, let's go return to Pepsitrustreloaded, who of course has gone for it. Terror, who's also got quite a bit of manpower and fuel floating about. Getting more grenadiers, but no mortars though. No mortars, although I suspect he might be going for the Panzer IV. Oh, wait, never mind. He's going for another sniper. Reconnaissance run moving in. Engineers seeing quite a bit of fire in the center area. Fighting in the east. Ostwind opening up on some riflemen advancing, and some engineers. Grenadiers trying to take the munitions. Pepsitrust seems to be on the back foot. Oh dear Lord, those riflemen took quite a beating, but they were able to get off a sticky bomb on the Ostwind. No infantry support, and that sniper is still quite the nuisance. Not quite able for Pepsitrust to actually get in a counter snipe on that bagger. Mortar also still quite a threat, and things are quite exposed here, but sadly Pepsitrust doesn't quite have the resources to sort of go right for it. In fact, he's going to have to retreat. This is not quite good. Otherwise, he might have been able to actually knock out that mortar, or perhaps even take out that second anti-tank gun. Grenadiers at west. He seems a bit undecisive, a bit unsure what actually to do at this stage of the fighting. And again, the entire west quite open. Nothing going on there. And of course, damn evil Vision is just sort of pooling all of his resources towards the east, which of course is making things easier for him.
Americans are capturing a sector.
There we go. Panzer IV on the way. Ostwind opening up on some more riflemen here in the east. Grenadiers actually pushing towards the center. Looks like some other movements here and there.
Americans are seizing territory from us.
Further pushing here. Anti-tank gun setting up. Ostwind immediately coming under fire from the anti-tank gun. Might quickly decide to get out of there. Further fighting in the center. Volkswagen and grenades, but there's aren't really any cooperation. MG42, the providing cover. Grenade goes in. Blows up a bit of fence, but doesn't quite get the crouch it wanted.
One of our snipers is dead.
Oh dear, the sniper got a mortar. Quite unfortunate. Quite very unfortunate right there. Looks like some grenades are actually shifting towards the west. Quickly moving towards the center for damn evil vicious mouse. Good movement there. No, yes, he's actually there. And he's actually got more anti-tank guns. Grenadiers forced away by flamethrowers. Not quite able to pull off a successful strategy at this stage. Rather seems like Pepsitrust lost his trusted good hand he gained in the beginning. Looks like a more solid effort now going in the west. Grenadiers supported by Panzer IV. Could be a Panzer IV supported by Grenadiers, either way. Grenadiers immediately coming under fire. And they so far survive quite nicely. Not a single hit connects. And in the process, damn evil Pepsitrustreloaded seems to be losing the center as anti-tank guns, mortars, riflemen push through there. Doesn't quite seem to have any good luck.
Grenadiers ready. Yankees are grabbing our territory.
And there we go. Forwards, forwards. All a bit quiet at the moment. Points being secured. Panzer IV moving about. Not entirely sure what it wants to do. Anti-tank guns moving ready in there. Sort of stop any movements by that Panzer IV, the Panzerkampfwagen 4. Probably sent in from the 2nd Panzer Division. Sniper continues away. There we go. Grenadiers, Volksgrenadiers clashing in the center. Anti-tank guns moving a bit too far. Panzer IV under heavy fire. Anti-tank gun in fact could get cleared out. There we go in fact. But heavy losses to the Grenadiers as they keep getting sniped. Panzer IV pulls away. Still no artillery, although he does have the firestorm, but I'm not entirely sure that's actually what he wants. Anti-tank gun actually gets recruited. Oh dear. Full retreat. We are in fact seeing a firestorm being called in right there, hoping to knock things up, but there's not really a lot there. This could be a bit of a missed move. Although it looks like the sniper is actually moving in. Oh dear, will he be knocked out? No, in fact, he gains veterancy 3 and then makes a run for it. Seems a bit of a waste of good munitions. And the Ostwind doesn't quite still get to do much. Same with the Panzer IV. And the mortar is still there somewhere over the rainbow, or possibly behind it, next to it. There we go. A bit hard to see hiding there in the corn. With the wheat. Grenadiers pushing onwards, hoping to get it. Ostwind also moves in, firing away at that anti-tank and hoping to wreck it, denying it to the Allies. Those Yankee pigs. Looking a bit grim. He could of course get another Panzer IV. He could also try going for the King Tiger at this stage. He certainly should not be fooling around resources. Oh dear. MG42 down, kaput, and he's going for Panzer Veterancy 2. In this case, I might have recommended some more armor. Actually, try to sort of outdo him with that. Or perhaps match cross. Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers forced away. Damn evil resist mouse pushing through there.
We're losing a sector.
Movements. Bit of a lag in defenses, of course, from Pepsitrust, which should rather resist this.
We are prepared to do precisely as
Heavy recon here.
Anti-tank gun pushing forwards, forcing away the Ostwind once more. Sneaking in on all points. Panzer IV getting paired. 3 grenadiers.
Veterans
Will it be
seek
enough? There you go, Veterans 2 getting a bit of a machine gunner right there, though it won't do much actually. Bit sad. There you go.
We have 300
And I
points
can't
left.
remember what the Austrian actually gets out of Veteran 2. It doesn't actually get, mounted MG gunner. Now we're actually seeing some Knights Cross on the way for Pepsitrustreloaded. It looks like he's pushing through in the west again. Good move, I suppose. Rather under fire. Panzer IV has it in its sights. Forces getting sniped here in the east. The sniper keeps moving about. Anti-tank gun covers him. It's 27 kills. That's very nasty, very evil, very vicious. Certainly quite fitting with its master. But of course also a rather thin line. Of course one decent blow from Pepsitrust could in fact shatter this, allowing him to once more move forward. Of course question is, will he be able to pull it off? Knights Cross moving about there. Veterans of the 2nd Panzer Division equipped with their Sturmgewehrs moving out for the fatherland. Will they be able to do it? Will they succeed? Will the Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers have failed? Only one way to find out.
The Yankees are grabbing our territory.
And a mine. Oh no. And there we go, the push is in. Immediately starts out with someone getting sniped in the face. Not the most auspicious of starts. MG42 covering. Troops getting suppressed. I wager we are seeing some BAR fire in fact. And they go pushing onwards. Knights Cross leading the charge. In fact he stops, he pulls away. Perhaps all the automatic fire there proves a bit too much, and again you generally don't charge right into it. So he might have learned his lesson a bit too late in that case. Well, in fact, seeing an observation post there, perhaps something for more firestorm, of course. A propaganda war could have perhaps, broken the American line, perhaps left an anti-tank on a 2 behind for it to be quickly seized. And oh dear, we are in fact seeing a tank depot. We are seeing tank destroyers up. This could prove to be quite the problem for the Panzers and the Ostwind. The Ostwind in fact looks like to be taking quite a bit of damage still. More Knights Cross in fact. Looks like he's hoping for that to really do the trick. Let us almost get rid there. Rather than running in the face of the Panzer IV. Ostwind is kaputt. Nicht mehr. It did not survive.
The enemy advances. Target.
There we go, leading a charge. Knights Cross at the front. Let's hope he doesn't do anything silly. And he, inspired assault in a blob and a strafing. Oh, bother. That was, yeah, I mean, here's a little tip, don't blow up and then go straight inspired assault when you know your opponent has a strafing run. Here's the thing about, the inspired assault, it makes your troops easier targets. Very important that it makes them lots easier targets. Like, they get much easier to hit, so of course the strafing run did a lot more damage, although thankfully no units were in fact completely evaporated. Now 2 M10s. Troops still getting sniped, trying to secure as much as possible, quickly getting forced away. This is looking rather grim. There's no further panzers on the way. Probably too many regions being spent, and of course reinforcing all the troops he lost in that move, though he does have another firestorm ready. Panzerschrecks also to support. Oh dear, Panzer IV already quite damaged. M10's quite nasty in that sense. Looks like he spent his munitions on something else, not quite sure what. Oh, 2 mortars. And the Panzer IV goes down.
Our forward supply lines are broken.
I actually think this is pretty much it. Well played. Still moving around with the Knight's Cross, but I'm pretty sure this is it. The point of no return, but again, he could be wrong. He still has some infantry, although again, a bit vulnerable in the center where it counts.
Ready.
42! Enemy armored car! He's hitting us hard!
Trying to salvage as much munitions, in fact. Looks a bit clumped up here. Firestorm could perhaps do some damage.
Our base is under attack.
He's instead getting veterancy for his infantry. No Panthers. Actually, probably could have gotten that if he decided not to go for that, but there we go. Knight's Cross moving in, hunting down, and oh, a strafing run, never mind. Doing heavy damage to the Knight's Cross, forcing them to run the gauntlet. Fighting here in the west. And the center, a retreat. Now the M10s are pretty much charging in. A bombing run, and the Knight's Cross are taught.
They're hitting our base.
Another strafing run. This is it for Pepsi Trust. His trust in Pepsi has failed him. So there we go. Victory for Damn Evil Vicious Mouse. Victory for the 1st Infantry Division. And of course the question is, what can we actually learn from this? I mean, besides, don't blob up and use inspired assault when your opponent has strafing runs and you bloody well know it, I mean, be careful again with this sort of placement of your medic bunkers. Although against the mortar there's not much to do, I suppose. Although again, sort of try to keep him beyond the sort of usual points where he might go. Would certainly have helped. There might have been, decisions where they probably shouldn't have gone for veterancy, but gone for armor. Could have helped in some cases. I think, if he had a bit more armor. Not enough mining from Pepsitrustreloaded, I think really didn't help him. Also a lack of barbed wire sandbags. The sniper bits, there's not much to do about that. Was pretty much bad luck on both parts until finally someone got lucky there. And good handling there from Damn Evil Vicious Mouse, if things were getting a bit rough for him. Good uses of the supply yard, although of course more upgrades to the medic station could have helped. But there we go. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, why not subscribe or tell your friends? And if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own? This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.